See everyone. We're recording this just so people know and are aware. And we're very happy to have you joining tonight. We're here at our lovely Tashi Getzeling in Maine. Hope that you're well wherever you're joining from. Just take a moment or two to gather ourselves here into this precious time that we're going to share in the Maine Moment meditation. Just letting go of anything we've just moved through our day, any kind of conversations, any kind of life situation that might be on our mind right now, and just invite ourselves to take a few letting go breaths, connecting with our body. We breathe in through the nose, kind of adjusting our posture. We can sit up a little more straight. And let ourselves be held easily in a nice posture where the spine is very straight so that the breath is moving and flowing very nicely through the body. And at the beginning, we just invite ourselves, we could close our eyes and do a little body scan to check in with the body, to relax very deeply the muscles, to become more aware of them, more consciously aware of them, inviting them to just release any tension that's being held anywhere. Taking a nice deep breath in from below the belly button, from the diaphragm. And breathing out very gently, inviting the whole body to become more like space. We'll invite, thinking of mind like space, let's invite the body to become absorbed in the mind that's like space. That looks like this. Clarence has got it down. So animals are very intuitive when it comes to relaxation. They can feel also the vibration very easily in their whole being. And they invite themselves to feel very much at ease, especially some of you who have animals. You know that during your meditation, your dog or your cat come in and they sit with you because they sense that something good is going on. It's nonverbal. It's very intuitive for them. So turning inwards now, using the breath as we breathe in to really expand. As we breathe in, we want the whole body to fill with breath. So we're expanding the physical being as we breathe in, bringing the breath in deeply to the body. We can use our imagination to feel that every single cell in space is being infused with fresh, bright, pure energy. Prana, it's called in the Indian tradition, or chi in the Asian tradition. Just every time we breathe, actually. The Buddha liked to teach a lot of mindfulness with breath because we can only breathe in the present moment. We can't breathe in the past and we can't breathe in the future. We can only breathe now. And every time we bring awareness back to breath, we're really bringing ourselves to be living in the moment of our life. So this is very wonderful, very beautiful, precious practice. And we find by putting awareness to the breath that there's a natural feeling of comfort and enjoyment, a natural feeling of relaxation and peace that comes with putting our focus on breath. Begin by checking with the top of your head. We'll do a soft body scan, relaxing all the muscles on the top of your head, relaxing around your ears, down the back of your head, and your neck and shoulders. Just relaxing means on the in breath, you just really invite by thinking relax, 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 letting things become spacious and soft. really connecting with an essence of space, a sense of non-physicality and openness. And if you begin to feel that you lose the boundary, that's good. Don't panic. You're sitting nice and comfortably in your chair, and you're inviting this sense of going beyond physicality, transcending the physical into what's ineffable, meaning we can't really conceive it or speak about it because it's something wondrous that goes beyond concepts and words. We just experience this wide open, spacious awareness. Relax the front of the face, the forehead, the muscles all around the eyes and the eyelids, the eyeballs. Relax the nose and the lips, the cheeks. Relax the tongue. Everything that you can imagine relaxing, just everything is invited to just melt into awareness, into spacious awareness. You can visualize your whole physical being becoming enveloped in light so that there's no longer a very solid sense of body in terms of bones and muscles and cartilage and this very physical, dense body. But as you breathe in light and let that light infuse every cell, every space. And imagine, use your imagination to really become merging with this sense of light, spaciousness, openness, awareness, relaxed and alert. And now in the next in-breath, relax the jaw, relax the neck, the front and the back, the sides, the shoulders. On the out-breath, as you exhale, just really let everything sink and settle. Let the shoulders melt away from your ears like butter, soft, releasing any tension you find at all. No need to hold anything. And down the arms, the upper arms to the elbows, relaxing. Everything from the very coarse, the outer skin, into the flesh and the bones, in the cells, feeling everything filled with this beautiful light, spacious awareness. And down to the lower arms, to the wrist and the hands, the thumbs, the fingers, all the little bones in the hands, the palms. Let everything become relaxed and light, empty. And then relax the upper body, the front and the back, becoming on the in-breath very light and full of awareness in the chest, the front and the back, and then down the sides of the upper body. The lungs, the belly, the rib cage, the waist, and every part that you feel any kind of little held tension, tightness, give extra attention to that, breathing extra gently in with the invitation to become much more spacious and to release. You can just think the thought, release, release, release. Let it go. Now down below the waist, to the solar plexus, the area between your belly button and your genitals. Relax that area, the front and the back, the sides, and down to the genitals. Relax the perineum, the little area down in between the legs. Relax everything, the buttocks. Relax anything held, any tensions in the intestines and the bladder. Just allow everything to become very light and filled with light and spacious awareness. And on your in-breath, breathing in very clean, pure energy, sending that breath all the way down to this area of the body with your thought, with your imagination, with the power of your direction, with your attention. And now to your hips, relaxing the hips, releasing any tension there. And to your buttocks, releasing any tension in the muscles and the sits bones. Just want everything to become as spacious and as open and comfortable, relaxed and free as possible. And on each consecutive out breath, just sinking and settling, allowing everything to become really centered and still with a relaxed and alert awareness. And now to the thighs, the upper legs behind and in front. The bones as well as the knees, cartilage, everything relaxed, spacious, alert and centered, but very still. Now from the knees to the lower legs, the calves and the shins, relaxing the skin, muscles, the bone. All the way down to the ankles, relaxing everything there. Creating a lot of spaciousness with the in-breath, letting go of any kind of tension or anything that's being held with the out-breath. Into the heels of the feet, into the lower feet, the pads of the feet, breathing in, sending clean, clear energy all the way down through the body to the feet. And on the exhale, releasing any old stale energy, exhaling it forcefully if you find it's quite old energy through the mouth, or just releasing it very steadily through the nose, whichever is the right way. And then bring the attention to the tops of the feet and all the little bones and spaces in the feet, as well as to each individual toe. You can wiggle your toes if you need to invite them to relax more. Sometimes a little movement is helpful. And now, any place else in your body to do the body scan. If you need special attention, put your attention there on the in breath. Bring in clean, clear, spacious light energy to that area. And as you breathe out, visualize the tension just leaving in the out breath. Now let's open the eyes just a little bit so that we don't get too comfortable falling asleep. Unless you're really tired, you've had a really rough day, then if you need to snooze a little bit, that's okay. But let's go for relaxed and alert. So the eyes are open just about a quarter. Maybe mine look like they're closed, but I can see up till about here. I can see out to here. My eyes are open enough to see peripherally. I'm aware of the room, but I'm not looking at it. I just can see some images there, a bit like in a dream. I'm not focused. So when we say watching the breath, we're using our inner awareness, our inner eye, and we're leaving our physical eye consciousness, the that which sees, that's which perceives through seeing. We're leaving that open a bit, but we're not engaging with it. We leave it open instead of closed because sometimes during meditation, lights show up and people get distracted by inner displays of what's called nyam, which are just distractions. People can get quite carried away with these, thinking they've achieved some heights state of meditation, but it really is not anything to do with our meditation. It's a distraction. So we leave the eyes open just a little bit so that we become used to this state of awake, alert, and relaxed awareness. Because as we move through our life, our eyes, of course, are open. When we close our eyes fully and we relax, it's a signal to most of us that it's time to go to sleep. And that's not what we want to do during meditation. We want a relaxed and alert state of awareness. And now, when we pick a place to meditate to watch the breath, it's either on the belly, down below the diaphragm, 4 finger lengths below the navel or belly button. As the breath is rising, as we breathe in, we can feel the body filling and it's sinking. When we breathe out, we can feel the movement of our body at that place contracting or falling. So that's a very good place for new people new to meditation. It's a very easy place to sense the breath moving through the movement of the body. And for people who have a meditation practice, then it's more recommended right underneath the nostrils where the breath is moving in very subtly. We place our attention there. We don't follow the breath into the body from there. We just sense that movement of breath as it's moving in. And then as it's moving out. So there's just a very subtle sensation of that movement of the breath, of the wind. So now our meditation becomes a focus on breath, and we just breathing in, are aware of breathing in. And the breath starts at the diaphragm. It starts low, so we relax the belly and we breathe in by letting the diaphragm expand as we breathe in. And we can feel the breath moving up the whole body, but it starts low and moves upwards, filling the front of the body and the sides. Even you can feel the expansiveness of the air moving into the lungs, up over through the face. And then we don't hold the breath. We just feel when the full breath is no longer able to be inhaled, we then just gently let the breath turn around and we breathe out again through the nose. So for the nose breathing, we're resting the tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth where the palate meets the teeth, just lightly resting it there. Or we can focus on the breath as the object just under the nostrils, that subtle movement. But one of those two places we pick, and then we just rest 90% of our attention, our mindfulness is on the object of the meditation, that subtle movement of the breath. We keep in our mindfulness 90%, and then we keep 10% of awareness, which is much more aware. Is my attention still on the breath, or have I become distracted? And no problem if you're distracted, just gently guide that awareness back to the breath. So mindfulness is a little bit like a rope that keeps our focus with the breath, and awareness is a little bit like a guide in the traditional path. It shows an elephant hook, which is just a wooden hook that's placed gently on the side of the elephant's head, not beating it, not pushing it, just reminding it, oh, you don't want to look to the right, come back here, go back to the center. And that's all we do with our awareness. We don't try to stop thinking, we don't judge our experience, we don't try to control anything. We just notice, oh, I forgot, and then bring it back to the breath. And from time to time, we check in to make sure we're still with our object. Our attention is still with the breath, and we check our posture. If we relax, we can straighten the posture up a little bit, keeping the spine straight. And if things are going well, we just continue focusing, aware, breathing in, aware, breathing in. Breathing out, aware of breathing out. You may start to notice that naturally the body rests for quite a long pause after the out breath, and you're not holding the breath, but there's a natural stillness that begins to arise after the out breath, and you just rest in that stillness. We don't have to take another breath. The body will breathe you. Once the body's ready to take a breath will arise. This is what happens when we're sleeping at night. The body will take the right breath. You're just watching, just letting your concentration come into what's called single pointed awareness, single pointed concentration, or shamatha. Don't overthink anything, don't overcomplicate anything, just staying single pointedly breathing in, aware of breathing in. Breathing out, aware of breathing out. Stillness, resting in the stillness. Check to make sure your eyes haven't closed all the way. If they have, don't worry about it. Just open a little bit. So you're training into this relaxed and alert presence. Don't judge any of your experience, just become aware. There's no need to judge, no need to accept, no need to reject. Now let's check our own concentration, single pointed, and for the next 21 breaths, become aware. If you're able to count up to 21, breathing in, breathing out, resting counts as one cycle, one breath. We do this 21 times up to the number 21 to check and see how our mind training is going. Don't worry if you only can get to 2 or 3, it doesn't matter, never mind. Just go back and start again. Don't effort, don't push. There's no shoulds. Just check up with curiosity. Now, into this calm abiding, let's introduce some analytical meditation. So, we've been practicing shamatha or calm abiding. Now we bring in, we keep this single pointed calm abiding, breathing in, breathing out. But we now bring in the intellectual part of our mind that really is looking at who is watching. When we say, I'm watching the breath moving in and moving out, and the breath is moving from below my lower body. Again, check to see if any other distractions might arise, like your foot falling asleep, or some torpor, some sleepiness. If you feel a little heavy and sleepy, just open the eyes a little bit more, or keeping them halfway open, you can raise the eyeballs up towards the upper part of the eye, as if you were looking up into the sky without raising your head, just moving the eyeballs, just to let them look in a different direction. It sometimes brings a little more awareness, alertness. And otherwise, just relaxing, asking who is meditating? Who is this one? When I say I am meditating, what is the nature of this I? Let's investigate, where is this I? Thoughts arise. We don't need to try to stop thinking thoughts. We let them be like clouds in the sky. The awareness is like space. Everything can happen in space, but space itself remains unchanged. So the awareness is just allowing everything to arise. It doesn't need anything to be different. And we see thoughts arise. They maybe linger for a while, but then they dissolve. They go back into the mind from which they arise. The same way a cloud will arise and it dissolves and goes back into the sky it appeared from. And we can investigate a little bit more deeply with our analytical meditation. Who is sitting on the cushion, so we can feel the contact of where our body is meeting our seat on the chair or the cushion. But is that contact the I? You say, I am sitting on the cushion. Is it just that point of contact? We can notice the sensations that might be arising. They arise from somewhere, they sustain for a while, and then they dissolve. Some sensations maybe have a pleasant affect, some are a little bit painful or difficult, some are neutral. We're just aware and watching, and becoming more familiar with the true nature of how things exist and who we are by the way things exist in this deep, deep interconnection. We might start to feel very boundless, very open like space. The mind, in fact, in the teaching says that it has the nature of space. Like space, it's non-physical. And like space, we can't find a beginning or an end to mind. Its nature is natural, radiant luminosity, pure knowing, awareness. If you feel a little sleepy, then put more attention on the in-breath. If your mind's a little active, put more attention on the out-breath. But investigate with vipassana, with insight, who is feeling sleepy. If we say, I am feeling sleepy, where is this I? How does this I exist? Is it the mind that's sleepy? Is it the body that's sleepy? Use the awareness to investigate. Or is it merely a quickly changing experience that we just label sleepy? And now put more attention down into the body, in the center of the chest, down to the subtle body's heart center. And start to bring in feelings of compassion for oneself. So you can think of specific times when you've really shown kindness to somebody, maybe one of your children, maybe a pet, maybe a good friend, maybe even a stranger, but sometime when you've really just naturally expressed connection and kindness so that you can become in touch with your innate goodness, your natural goodness. In order to show kindness to another, we have to be able to have that kindness in our own heart. In our mind. And right now we're just touching that aspect of ourselves, our true nature, that is one of compassion, of loving kindness. And right now we're just touching that about ourselves. We're reminding ourselves of this essential innate goodness. Or as His Holiness the Dalai Lama calls it, our natural warm-heartedness. We don't have to do anything to experience this. We don't have to act any certain way. We can just connect with it right now as a natural aspect and expression of who we are, as a quality of the mind. And we can invite the mind to experience Jangchup, the great mind of enlightenment, the mind becoming aware of the mind's capacity for goodness, endless goodness, immeasurable loving kindness, immeasurable compassion. Zhangchu Tsem means the mind of enlightenment. Everything that lives has this quality of mind. However, unlike human beings, not everything that lives can become aware of it consciously. Right now, we can have awareness becoming aware of itself, of its own nature, awareness of awareness. And within that, we can bring in these qualities of loving kindness, of compassion, of joy, of warm heartedness, all the very positive qualities of mind that benefit oneself and others equally. There's a gentleness there, there's a quiet, innate dignity, a naturalness that has nothing to prove. It's not lesser than and it's not greater than. It's a natural quality of mind. And just touch that and rest with the awareness and warm heartedness. Maybe feeling even a glow in the middle of your chest, a warm feeling, a vibration. This is resting in the natural, innate purity of mind that's luminous and radiant, aware of resting in its own nature, primordially pure, transcendent, with a capacity for great awakening, great bodhicitta. Beyond any limitations, it's ineffable, inconceivable, cannot be described in any kind of a concept, but it can be directly experienced, to be known. So at your own pace, let's come back from this meditation. Now you keep your mind in the bodhicitta, the open mind of enlightenment and those beautiful qualities. But begin to come out of the meditation. You can move your body a little bit and stretch, or take a sip of water if you need. And just observe the room around you now, what the room appears like and what your sensations are. See if there's a different quality of your experience, some kind of brighter vision coming out of the meditation. Of course, the whole practice in Tibetan and any Buddhist practice, but especially in our practice of Vajrayana Buddhism, we're always practicing to shine our mind up. So meditation is a practice of like cleaning ourselves on the inside, taking an inner shower or taking an inner way of shining our mind up and polishing it up, brightening it up, bringing its pure qualities to the surface. And so this is, yes, my teacher would say, more important than taking the external showers to take the internal shower of the meditation. So hopefully your practice is going well, and it's good if you can practice at least maybe twice a day for 10 or 15 minutes in the morning and then in the evening before going to sleep. If you can fit in another session, that's good. It's more important to practice short sessions and practice often. And once your practice becomes very stable, you can add on more time to it. But throughout the day, more often coming back to awareness of the breath helps strengthen our mindfulness. And becoming aware of awareness helps really strengthen that single pointed concentration. So even if we're just walking, to become more aware of that fact that we're walking, and then being aware of walking would be an example of that. You don't have to overthink it. You know how to walk. You just have to be with what you're doing. So when you're sitting, you become aware, now sitting. When you're eating, becoming aware, now eating. When you're driving the car, aware of driving the car. Often we're doing one thing with the body and the mind is somewhere else. So the idea is we want to bring them together to be good. We say actually it's like a rider and a horse. So the awareness should always be, as the rider should always be on the horse, which is the activity of whatever's going on. They should be together, not separated. So I think we're already at our hour mark. So we'll just dedicate our prayers, our practice tonight. So always good. We set the intention at the beginning. We create peace together. And we really dedicate this practice of peace, both for our own benefit initially, of course, that's very much encouraged and why we practice. The Buddha attained enlightenment first to get there for himself and then was able to be immensely, immensely beneficial to all others. So in our own practice, we have to get there first for our own benefit and then share that immensely for all others. So let's say our dedication verses, and we'll start with our prayers for our teachers. In that snow mountain encircled land, source of every benefit and joy, may Lord Tenzin Gyatso Chenrezig remain in life till samsara's end. In particular, I pray for the one who knows all the scriptures with the power of his intelligence, to have a long life through the solid strength of his mind and his mastery of life, in order to benefit the teachings and all beings with his good, wholehearted resolve. Through this virtue may I swiftly, having gained Guru Buddha state, place each and every sentient being without exception in that state. Precious supreme Bodhi mind, may it where unborn arise, and where born never decline, but increase forevermore. Mig me se we ter chen rezi, di me kien pe wang po jam pel yang. Gong chen ke pe su gien son ka pa, lob zong drak pe shabla so wade. So thank you everybody for joining us this evening at the Tashi Getseling for the Maine Moment. And if anyone who's joining is interested and would like a copy of our prayer book, please just send an email to us through the website, Tashi Getseling. I saw some nice comments. Thank you to people who have joined and added nice comments for their gratitude. And if you would like a copy, we're happy to send this out to you. It's always nice to have these kind of, our prayer books have the Tibetan, the way it's pronounced, not obviously in the Tibetan characters, because we don't assume anyone really knows that, but you can then hear and read in English what these sacred prayers are in Tibetan. And the way it was explained to me is that the language of Tibetan was only written down so that it could hold the Dharma teachings. In other words, before Dharma came to Tibet, it was only an oral spoken language. And the king of Tibet at the time said, well, let's create our own language so we can actually record the teachings of the Buddha as they came from India to Tibet. And the Indian teacher said, well, you don't need to write them in Sanskrit because you have your own language. And so this is quite making the Tibetan a very sacred language, because it was actually written down in order to pass and transmit the teachings of the Dharma. So these vibrations, when we say the prayers in Tibetan, another name for Vajrayana Buddhism is Mantrayana Buddhism. And mantra is the sacred vibration of the sound. So it's very good and very blessed to be able to chant these, even if you don't feel your singing voice. I don't feel I have a very good voice, but my heart is in it. So I think it's a nice way also to show our own respect here in America for our having this tradition, which the Tibetans preserved and brought out of Tibet at such a great cost to their own culture to keep alive and to work tirelessly. All the countries that our teachers, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Khenzo Rinpoche, Jetsuma Tenzin Palmola, have traveled in countless, 5, 6 continents and countless countries, and still today are working tirelessly to bring the benefits of the Dharma to beings, to lift them out of the suffering realm of existence and lead them to their ultimate happiness. So how precious and wonderful to be able to share in this beautiful tradition. So everybody have a beautiful week. Be kind to yourself, be happy with yourself, enjoy, and feel confident in your Buddha nature. Keep going.
Thank you.
Wisdom and
Good night.
wisdom and compassion, babies.
Thank you.
A pleasure.